The invitation arrived on a Tuesday, slipped under my apartment door in a cream-colored envelope that probably cost more than my lunch. I recognized my mother's handwriting immediately. The same elegant script that had signed away my future 10 years ago. Robert and Linda Morrison. Request the pleasure of your company. At their 25th wedding anniversary celebration. The St. Regis Hotel, New York. Black tie required. I stared at it while my coffee grew cold, remembering another piece of paper that had changed everything. The one I'd found on my father's desk when I was 18, showing a zero balance in my college fund. The one with a withdrawal memo. Trevor's wedding, final payment. My phone buzzed. 3 messages in quick succession. Mom, did you get the invitation? Please RSVP soon, the caterer needs numbers. Mom, it would mean so much to have the whole family there. Mom, your stepbrother is flying in from California with his family. I set the phone down and opened my laptop. The Harvard acceptance letter was still saved in my email, dated 10 years ago. Below it, my desperate reply to the financial aid office, begging for any solution after my family's circumstances changed. Changed. What a pleasant euphemism for betrayal. Another buzz. Trevor. Hey sis. Mom says you haven't RSVP'd yet. Don't be a stranger. Can't wait to see you and catch up. Kids are dying to meet their Aunt Danny. Aunt Danny. As if we were ever siblings. As if he hadn't known exactly where his $300,000 fairy tale wedding came from. I closed the laptop and picked up my phone, scrolling past their messages to the one that mattered. Marcus Chin, CEO. Daniela, Tokyo's confirmed. We close Thursday. You're leading the negotiation. Congratulations. This deal will make you the youngest VP in company history. Thursday. The same night as my parents' anniversary. I smiled for the first time since seeing the invitation and typed my response to Marcus. I'll be on the plane Wednesday night. Then I opened my mother's text and typed. Unable to attend. Prior commitment. The phone rang within 30 seconds. Prior commitment? My mother's voice was sharp with disbelief. What could possibly be more important than your parents' anniversary? Work. Work. Daniela, we haven't seen you in 2 years. Your stepbrother is bringing his children. The stepbrother whose wedding you paid for with my college fund? Silence. Then, we've been over this. Trevor needed a $300,000 wedding, while I needed an education. I remember the hierarchy. You're being dramatic. You went to college. I went to state school on partial scholarship while working 3 jobs. Night shifts at the hospital, weekend tutoring, summer construction. Did you know I fainted during my MCAT from exhaustion? Of course not. You were in Cabo for Trevor's birthday. Daniela. I missed meals to afford textbooks. I studied in 24-hour laundromats because I couldn't afford campus housing. I graduated summa cum laude anyway, got into Harvard Business School anyway, and paid for it myself. Anyway, no one asked you to. No. You just took my future and gave it to your husband's son. Then you wondered why I stopped coming home. He's your brother. He's a stranger your husband brought into our house when I was 15. But he was the son Robert always wanted, wasn't he? The one who played football instead of studying. The one who needed a wedding that cost more than most people's houses. My mother's voice turned cold. You've done well for yourself. Obviously, you didn't need our help. I'll never know, will I? Maybe I would have cured cancer with less financial stress. Maybe I would have failed completely. The point is, you took away my choice and gave it to Trevor because his happiness mattered more than my future. We're your parents. You're people who share my DNA. Parents don't steal from their children to impress their country club friends. I hung up and blocked her number. Then my father's. Then Trevor's. 10 years of distance condensed into that moment. 10 years of choosing survival over family. 10 years of building something from the ashes of their betrayal. Wednesday night, I sat in first class flying to Tokyo. My assistant, Jerome, had booked the whole row so I could work. Spread before me were contracts, projections, and strategies for a deal that would reshape the Asian market for our firm. Ms. Morrison, the flight attendant, offered champagne. Celebrating? Not yet, but soon. My phone, on airplane mode, held 17 unread messages. I deleted them without looking and opened my presentation one more time. $200 million. That's what this deal was worth. More than Trevor's wedding. More than my stolen college fund. More than their approval had ever been worth. Thursday afternoon in Tokyo, I sat across from the Yamamoto team. The conference room overlooked the city, floor-to-ceiling windows framing Mount Fuji in the distance. "Morrison-san," Mr. Yamamoto said, "your reputation precedes you. Harvard's youngest MBA, Goldman Sachs' rising star, now Chin Industries' secret weapon. Tell me, what drives such ambition?" "Necessity," I answered honestly. "When you have no safety net, you learn to fly." He smiled. "My father was a fisherman. I understand building from nothing. Shall we begin?" 6 hours later, we shook hands on the deal. My phone exploded with congratulations from the home office. Marcus called personally. "Brilliant work, Daniela. The board is beyond impressed. That VP title is yours, and frankly, I think you'll be sitting in my chair within 5 years." "Thank you, Marcus." My phone beeped with another call. A New York number I didn't recognize. "I should take this." "Of course. Celebrate tonight, you've earned it." I answered the unknown number. "Daniela Morrison." "Ms. Morrison? This is Dr. Patricia Williams at Mount Sinai Hospital. You're listed as Linda Morrison's emergency contact." My blood froze. "What happened?" "Your mother collapsed at an event this evening. She's stable, but she's been asking for you." I stared out at Tokyo's lights, calculating. I could catch a red eye, be there in 14 hours. Missed the celebration dinner with Yamamoto's team. Potentially damage the relationship I'd just built. "Ms. Morrison? Is she in immediate danger?" "No, but..." "Then I'll be there when I can." I hung up and called Jerome. "Book me a flight to New York for tomorrow afternoon. And send flowers to Mount Sinai. Room number to follow." "Of course." "Is everything?" "No. But it will be." The next morning, I attended the celebration breakfast, signed the final papers, and caught my flight. 20 hours after landing in Tokyo, I walked into Mount Sinai Hospital in designer heels and a suit that cost more than my first car. My mother looked small in the hospital bed. My father sat beside her, still in his anniversary tuxedo. They both looked up when I entered, and I saw the moment they registered the change. The confident walk. The expensive clothes. The assistant trailing behind with my luggage. "You came," my mother whispered. "I finished my business first." I set down my bag. "What happened?" "Stress," my father said. "The doctor said her blood pressure spiked. She collapsed during the toast." During Trevor's speech, my mother added bitterly. "He was thanking us for always supporting him, for giving him the wedding of his dreams." I said nothing. 300 people, she continued. All asking where you were. All wondering why our daughter couldn't make time for our anniversary. Your daughter was closing a $200 million deal in Tokyo. My father's eyes widened. 200 million? My commission alone is more than you spent on Trevor's wedding. Funny how things work out. Daniela, my mother reached for my hand. We made a mistake. No, a mistake is forgetting a birthday. You made a choice. You chose Trevor's wants over my needs. You chose appearances over my future. You chose your husband's son over your daughter. You're right. The words seemed to physically pain her. We see that now. Trevor, he filed for bankruptcy last year. The business Robert set him up with failed. His wife left him. Took the kids. And you built an empire from nothing. Without us. Despite us. Tears rolled down her cheeks. We backed the wrong horse. You backed the easy horse. The one who looked good in photos and made Robert feel like a successful father. The one who didn't challenge you or ask difficult questions or demand more than surface-level attention. How do we fix this? My father asked quietly. I looked at them, really looked. My mother, who'd chosen her new husband's validation over her daughter's dreams. My father, who'd let it happen because keeping peace was easier than keeping promises. You don't, I said simply. You can't give me back the nights I cried myself to sleep in a roach-infested apartment. You can't erase the shame of wearing the same suit to every interview because I couldn't afford another. You can't undo what you took from me. Then why are you here? Because despite everything, I'm not you. When family calls, I answer. Eventually. On my terms. After my responsibilities are met. I pulled out a business card. This is my contact information. You can use it for emergencies. Real ones. Daniela, please. I have a car waiting. I fly back to Singapore tonight for another deal. I paused at the door. Happy anniversary. I'm glad you had 300 people to celebrate with. I'm sure that made up for the daughter you sold for party favors. That's not fair. No, I agreed. It wasn't. I left them there and flew to Singapore. Closed another deal. Got promoted to VP. Built a life they'd never imagined for me, because they'd never imagined anything for me beyond being the forgotten daughter who worked 3 jobs. A year later, my mother sent another invitation. A small card handwritten. Would you like to have lunch? Just us. No occasions. No expectations. Just lunch. I stared at it for a long time. Then I pulled out my phone and typed, I can do coffee. 30 minutes. Tuesday, 2 p.m. She responded immediately. Thank you. We met at a small cafe near my office. She looked older, more fragile. The confidence that had once dismissed my dreams was gone. You look successful, she said carefully. I am. I read about your promotion. Youngest VP in your company's history. Yes. She fidgeted with her coffee cup. Trevor asked about you. He wanted your contact information. No. He's struggling. No. She nodded, understanding. I destroyed us, didn't I? Our relationship. Our family. You destroyed my trust. The rest fell apart naturally. If I could go back. But you can't. And honestly, I'm not sure I'd want you to. I checked my watch. The struggle made me who I am. Your betrayal taught me to rely on myself. Trevor's wedding funded by my future showed me exactly where I stood in your priorities. Last, she whispered. Last, I confirmed. But first in my own life now. That's worth more than any college fund. I left her there with the check. She could afford it now. Trevor wasn't draining their accounts anymore. My assistant met me outside. Back to the office, Ms. Morrison? Yes. We have a conference call with London in an hour. As the car pulled away, I saw my mother through the window, still sitting alone at the table. She looked lost, maybe understanding for the first time what it felt like to be left behind. I'd worked 3 jobs for this moment. Not for revenge or vindication, but for the simple power of walking away on my own terms. My college fund had bought Trevor a wedding and a failed marriage. My struggle had bought me an empire. I'd take that trade every time. The invitation to their 30th anniversary would come, I knew. And I'd be busy again, closing another deal, building another future. Some distances can't be bridged by invitations or apologies. Some choices echo forever. But in the Singapore sunset, flying toward another opportunity they'd never dreamed possible for me, I felt only gratitude. They'd taught me the most valuable lesson of all. The only person who'll never betray your dreams is yourself. And that was worth more than any inheritance.